Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's me, the off-grid warrior and ranger. I just put him up on his spot. You know how it goes during these streams. Ranger's got to be part of the action, even though I want him, whether I want him to or not. Are you happy now? Okay. Anyways, greetings. I see a few names in chat. Kevin. Good evening, warrior. Replacing van, got a pickup topper on it with low miles. Nice. What kind of pickup truck, Kevin? Is that going to allow you to be a little more mobile? Be able to hit those gnarly trails? Mr. Gas, greetings. Rainy night in South Carolina. Well, we had some pretty loud thunder about 10 minutes ago, which I haven't heard for a long time, many months, actually. Little overcast here, but I'm not seeing anything too extreme, so we'll see what happens. I haven't checked the forecast. Kevin, beautiful low 80s here. Clear, Indiana. Low 80s, nice. That's a nice, comfortable zone. Let me know, guys, if the audio is, you know, clear and you can hear me. Usually that's the first thing I check. Let me know in chat what audio is like. 64 degrees here in South Carolina. It's actually 76 outside right now for me. Which is also, that's kind of a zone I like it. It's kind of warm enough to be pleasant being outside and cool enough to get some work done or work up a sweat without, you know, overheating. Of course, in no time it'll be in the 90s and no doubt we'll have days in the hundreds, which, you know, bring on some challenges living in a little wooden cabin those hot summer days when it's 100 degrees outside, and you know, there's just no ways to cool things down, and you know, it's 100 degrees inside as well. Just saw that USA and China have come to a deal on trade. These things come in waves. Who knows what the issue will be next year, or hey Ranger, or the year after that. I mean, I guess the good news is, you know, nobody has to panic about their favorite electronic items being too expensive to purchase. I was noting just how much, I don't have much in my cabin, but I was taking stock of things in here and looking at where things were made, and I don't know, 70% of anything of worth in here is made in China, so yeah, we shall see. I mean, I guess that is good news. Good news for both sides, I guess. We'll see. I hear a lot, much of it garbage. Sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Gas. Well, doesn't seem like we have too many people on tonight's stream. But thanks guys. We have the regulars, the regular crew in tonight. So I have a video here. It's about 33 minutes, guys. Yeah, another longish one. Mind you, by streaming standard, you know, 33 minutes is not a long video, or a long time to be streaming. You know, sometimes we go for a couple hours, yeah, easily 3 hours, but the video itself is 33 minutes. Hopefully it won't bore you. Hopefully you'll stick around to watch the whole thing. Kevin, audio good. Sounds good. Oh, there we go, Kevin. GM 2017 and mobile, yes, not four-wheel drive. Where did you say you are? Indiana? So it's not too, you don't have too many mountains out there. Mind you, I've never been to Indiana, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think there's no ways I could get away with a vehicle around here that isn't all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It's just wouldn't work for me, especially in winter, as you guys know. That's if it was running. Yeah, so if anybody's tuned in that maybe it's the first time, what we do here on this stream is I play a video. Usually it's everything that I've got up to in the last week or two, or in this case 3 weeks. Yeah, I'll play the video and you guys can chat, ask questions, or just comment on what you're seeing as we run the video. And then after the video, we tend to hang out and chat a little bit more if there's folks hanging out. So that's the plan. Ranger. Ah, yes. The joys. Anyways, what else we got going on, guys? Corn all around, pretty flat. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's kind of how I envisioned that neck of the woods. Anyways, I got the where did I put my coffee? I got the coffee is made. It's still steaming in the old titanium camping cup. The only problem with these metal cups, guys, as you probably know, is when you put hot liquid in here and you attempt to sip, the edge gets pretty hot. The disadvantage of a metal cup. Good job on haircut. Yeah, Mr. Gas. It's one of my home cuts. I think there's about 30 seconds in this video today of me cutting my hair. Yeah, don't look too close. There are some issues, but you know. And I have no idea what it looks like in the back, so you know. It's not like I'm entering any beauty competitions up here, guys, so I'm sure I'll be fine. But thank you. Okay. So, yeah, if there's any lurkers in the background there, if you're in chat or if you're watching, don't be shy. Feel free to say, "What are you doing, mate?" Feel free to say hi. Tell us who you are, where you're at, if you want to share. And if you don't want to share, that's fine too. So anyways, we'll get the video going, guys. 33 minutes. Hopefully you hang out. And yeah, as you know, I do appreciate good comments, even criticism, guys. As long as it's constructive, you know, I can deal with it. I'm a big boy. So let's go. If I can figure out how to get it going, I think I would have figured it out by now, or get a little more efficient stream video. There we go. All right, let me know once this gets going if the audio is good. Okay, let's go. Hey, come here. Stay here, buddy. Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's Ranger and me, the off-grid warrior, on a beautiful midday. Well, I think we've just slipped into afternoon. A beautiful early afternoon up here on the mountain. And today, finally, I get to do my favorite, or create my favorite meat snack. And it's a meat snack called biltong. And it's pretty popular in Southern Africa. I grew up eating it, and not only fond memories, but wow, just thinking about it, my mouth's starting to salivate. So that's what we're creating today, biltong. And hey, Ranger, got to keep a sharp eye on Mr. Ranger. He's a runner. So today we'll be making biltong, and essentially there's 4 stages to making biltong, and that is salting the meat, creating the wet cure, creating the dry rub, and then of course curing it. In this case, and this isn't the traditional way to do it, but I'll be speed curing it in my smokehouse. This is a cold smokehouse. We're not really cooking food in here. We're more curing food. So to start off with here, guys, we've got the round eye. It's a little round eye roast, which we'll be slicing up, and then we'll be salting. This is step 1. Now, this isn't the ideal salt. You really want to go for a coarse salt. This is kind of medium to fine. It's the only salt that I had. So for some reason I thought I had some coarse salt up here. I don't. So we'll be using this Celtic sea salt, which is again not ideal, but it's salt, and we're going to use it. So we're going to start with the cutting, the salting, and then ignore the eggs, guys. The eggs and the Creole seasoning is actually my breakfast / lunch. We're gonna eat those quick, and then we'll jump back to the salting. Ranger gets an egg too. So yeah, bear with me. Let me eat my eggs, and then we'll get to stage 1 of making biltong, my style. Cheers. Move. Okay. Made a few slices here, guys. Nothing too fancy. Again, how thick you cut it is up to you. You know, if you wanted to dry faster, obviously you're going to cut it thinner. I may have cut these pieces a little too thick for my liking, but it'll do. That's probably what I should have shot for in that range. Ranger's clearly very excited, buddy. Is that nice? You think you're going to get some of this? Maybe. Okay, let's salt it up before the bugs get out. And like I said, this is medium to fine, and I really should have got something more coarse. But This is what we're going to use now. So the idea here with the salting is, this isn't just about flavor. This is about, the salt is going to draw moisture out of the meat. That's really the primary purpose here. Let's get rid of this board. It's in the smokehouse. Oh, buddy, don't you wish? Okay, so the objective here, guys, is primarily the salt is going to draw moisture out of the meat, and so we want to get as much of the salt on the meat. When you work it in there, it's a little bit more. When you make sure we get all of the meat coated pretty well. Don't be shy with the salt. Now the problem with using fine salt or too finer of a salt is that you can end up over salting it or over marinating it, because we're going to have some spices and saltiness to the wet marinade we're going to make. So if there's just too much salt on it initially, and fine salt will do that, you know, it can be a little overpowering. We don't want it too salty. And that's the nice thing about the coarse salt, is that once it's been salted for 2-3 hours, you can kind of knock the coarse salt off or shake it off. We don't wash the salt off, right? We just kind of shake it off once it's done. And coarse salt will be easier to knock off or shake off than fine salt. So you see the brown, this is actually a shopping bag I've cut over here. I just like to put some sort of substrate underneath the salting to absorb the moisture that's coming off the meat, right? I don't necessarily want the meat, as the moisture is drawn out of the meat, I don't want the meat sitting in the moisture. I want something to draw away the moisture as it comes out of the meat. So that's my my reason for using a shopping bag. Or you could use maybe a paper towel or whatever you can, but the shopping bag is all I had right now, paper shopping bag, so that's what we're using. Okay, well guys, there you go. We are fully salted now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inside, and this will stay in my little 12-volt refrigerator slash cooler, for maybe a couple hours. And what I may do halfway during that process is I may just take a look at them and flip them, just, you know, see what's going on. And yeah, so a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, and during that period I'm going to prepare the wet marinade and then the dry rub, which we'll be putting on a little later. So let's do that now. Yum. So the meat is out. It's had almost 3 hours in the fridge, salted, and we're going to take care of it right now. We're going to start phase 2 of this, folks, which is the marinade, the wet marinade. We've got apple cider vinegar, we've got Worcestershire sauce, we got Ziploc bags, and we've got a container here for some initial mixing, and then of course the delicious meat that has been well salted. Like I said earlier on, I would have liked to have a coarser salt, but you know, we'll use what we have here. So what I'm going to do is just get this meat out. And let's just get this out of the way so Ranger doesn't get into it. I'm sure he will if he gets close. It's in the smoker for now. And what we're going to do, this is not an exact science. Well, it may be for some, it's not for me, folks. So what we're going to do is we're going to go apple cider vinegar and Worcestershire sauce. I don't know, it's depending on how I feel, I guess. We're going to go mostly apple cider. You can always mix more later. I've got half of that in there, and then Worcestershire sauce. Not quite 50-50, more like a 75-25, somewhere around there. Got a little more apple cider. There we go. And what I'm going to do, folks, is... oh, let's get that out of the way. Hopefully this is all making sense. We're going to get the mixture, the marinade, into the old Ziploc bag here. And now we put the meat in the wet marinade. That's simple. Now, if this was a coarser salt, I'd be able to knock some of the salt off. Let's get that there. And I'm going to say we need some more marinade in here. So bear with me, folks. Let's get a little more apple cider vinegar in here. We'll just go with all of it. Kind of a small bottle, 16 fluid ounces, or 473 milliliters. And a little more Worcester in there. And we'll call it a day. So I've double bagged this just in case we have leaks. So let me close this inner one. Inner bag sealed. And that's essentially what happens now is, I don't know, another couple hours, maybe 3 hours. And in that meantime, I will get the smoker ready here. Like I said, I haven't used it since last year, end of autumn. So we're going to get some lump charcoal, and I'm going to find my little burn box for my chips. And we'll see what chips I have. I think I have an assortment. Maybe I have some alder. Not sure what else I have there. We'll find out. But right now, this goes back into the refrigerator, and we'll revisit it in, I don't know, 2-3 hours. Let's go. Sun's out. Stay out. Okay, so phase 3 or step 3, guys. It's coriander seeds. Yeah. So these are full coriander seeds. And I'm going to be roasting them in a stainless steel pot inside, just over flame. We'll pour these into the pot and attend to the roasting of the coriander seeds. And we don't want to burn the seeds, we just want to get them starting to smoke. And at that point, I'll bring them outside and we'll be roasting them in the old Cuisinart over here. This is a coffee grinder. We'll use that to grind them up. And I'll be using this little for power. Of course, I am off grid up here. There's no such thing as a electrical grid power or supplied power. We'll use this little unit here to run the grinder to grind the coriander seeds. So let's go do that now. Okay, the roasting of the coriander seeds have taken place. You see them right there, a little bit of smoke coming off. And so as I roast them in the things are getting hot and I start seeing smoke here, I just use a teaspoon in there, moving everything around, and then I'll let it sit for a while, continue to roast, and then move it around. So you get the general idea. You don't want to burn the seeds, just get a good roast. Right, so the next step over here is going to be grinding them. Okay, so that was not a good strategy. Go this way. Put the AC on. Okay, we don't want to do this too fine. We want it sort of a medium grind, and for there to be a little bit of coarseness still left there. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's okay, nice. If you guys can see that. Okay, we'll just put a lid on that for now. We won't be using that for a while. We're still marinating the meat. I think we're at maybe a couple hours, hour and a half right now, so we'll give it a little bit longer. Let's get the fire ready. Okay, so here we have the not quite final product, but we have the you know, beef with the coriander. The dry rub has been put on. I did put a little bit of Creole seasoning on this one. I thought I'd try something new. This is not something I typically do. Never done this before, this particular seasoning, but I put a little bit of the Creole seasoning with the coriander to add a little bit of heat. It's a very mild heat. So yeah, I apologize, I didn't quite get me putting the dry rub on because my dog decided to disappear. Mr. Ranger has taken a run somewhere. You know, he's a bit of a runner, which is unfortunate. The gate was open just for a few minutes, and so he's disappeared. So I was focused on getting this rub on and getting the fire where it needs to be. As you can see, we've got the Weber in here, and we've got some coals and some wood going on. I do have a temp gauge over here. Right now it's a little too warm. As you can see, it's around 100 degrees. I like it to be, I try and maintain it around 80. You know, we're not cooking this, guys. This is more of a cold smoker action. All right, so I don't want this meat cooking in here. This is going to take maybe 2 or 3 days or 3 separate sessions of me smoking this. Obviously I won't be able to keep this fire going when I sleep, but when I get up in the morning, we stoke the fire, get the smoker going again, and we go for 2 or 3 days like that. And then I will hang it up inside, probably close to a window with some sunlight, for another couple days. At that point it should be ready to start nibbling on. So that's the plan. I'm going to get this meat hung in here, guys, and then I'm going to go and look for Doggo. It's about 7 o'clock right now, and I definitely need to find him before it gets dark. So yeah, joys. Let's do this. So I have a very easy system over here. I've got these rods up at the top here which can be moved, and you can see the meat hooks. I'm just going to hang that meat up there and hope for the best. Okay, so our little meat strips are hanging, and I've got some hickory wood chips in here. Just going to get that on there. I did soak those wood chips. They've been soaking in this bucket here for a couple hours. So you got them in there. We're going to put the lid on, guys. And open that up. Now you can see I have venting over here. That's where the air is, you know, the air enters. But you know, this smoker isn't, you never want a smoker to be airtight. You can see I have some fairly large gaps over here, so it gets a lot of air in to keep that fire going, particularly down here in the bottom. And you know, just hope for the best. Okay, let's go find my dog. Okay, a little too warm for my liking. 105. I'll just go with that for now. Kind of a small fire in there, so the temp will come down pretty fast. But right now, ranger time. Go find that dog of mine that can't be left unattended outside a fence. Let's go find him. Who I found. Hey, come here. Okay, Mr. Ranger, you are naughty. Naughty, naughty. Hello, ladies. We got Mr. Ranger back here, and trying to get the bag of marinade away here so Ranger doesn't get into it. Ranger, you are naughty, buddy. Okay. Dog secured. Gate closed. Let's see where we are right now with the temps in the smoker. Just I don't know, around 95 right now. 95. So yeah, we'll get that down to about 80, and then we'll try and maintain that for the rest of the evening. No higher than 80 really. Right now, since I don't have any hot water for a shower, the old solar bag, I won't say the solar bag let me down, the sun let me down. We need to get another fire going right now and get some hot water on the boil. Okay, next chore. It's a beautiful evening, guys. And we're checking the smokehouse. Yeah. See how temps are doing. Still around 95. Probably need to get some more charcoals in here. Oh yeah, get some more charcoals in there. Keep it burning. Oh, of course, how could I forget the star of the show? Oh my gosh, how am I going to get through another 2, 3, 4 more days of waiting? Well, 2, 3 days of smoking. At least 4 or 5 days till it's like ready. It's going to be tough. This requires the most self-control. Yeah. I mean, after day 3, I'm going to want to gobble all of this up. Strength. Is that too much? Smells delicious. Hungry. Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's it's me, the off-grid warrior, looking. Wow, it's not often that I bring the old mirror out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 times a year, and I'm definitely seeing my father. Winters have been rough. Anyways, finishing the haircut that I started yesterday. Of course, the battery ran out as I was cutting my hair, and well, we're finishing it up now. And it's a beautiful day out here today, guys. It's about, I don't know, 9:30 a.m. and rain just behind the fence there. We did a bit of running this morning, and you know, got to keep the little booger behind the fence. Otherwise, he, as you guys know, he likes to run. So you can probably hear him whining a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna do some laundry today, guys. I have water up here that I've caught. We've had quite a bit of rain. Well, not in recent couple of weeks, but coming out of winter, we had a bit of rain. So I have some rain collected. We're going to start laundry, something I haven't done since last year. I know, but let's just keep that between, you guys and me. It's like, don't tell anyone. So we can get some laundry items done today and get it hung up and hopefully drying. So that'll be the first chore of the morning. And then we'll see what else we've got to do. Get this haircut done. I think it's somewhat done already. I mean, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's not like I'm entering any competitions up here. So, yes, the joys of doing laundry. We're shooting for only the important items today. I started off with just a bucket, little red 5-gallon bucket to do laundry in, but we've got some laundry soaking, and I think we're going to upgrade the washing machine to this bad boy. Oh yeah, we're going to be washing up a storm. Okay, the new and improved laundry machine. We're upgrading to a bigger machine, folks. Yep. We've got more space in here. So, looking for the important items. Socks and underwear and t-shirts. I guess some winter socks over there. All my thick woolly socks from winter I haven't quite washed yet. We'll get those done there. Some underwear. getting a foot cleanse and doing laundry at the same time. So it reminds me of doing grapes for wine. That's actually what I pretend I'm doing right now. I'm stomping on grapes, make wine, you know, the old school way. It's like I'm seeing a trend here, guys. Can you tell what my favorite color is? Obviously it's hot pink. Obvious. So here I am hanging up the socks. It's going to be nice to have some fresh socks. Typically on a nice day like this, doing laundry or chores outside, I'll have some music going on in the background, but you know, every time I'm recording or intend to at least put something up online, I've got to turn the music off because, you know, even when they're not around, they're controlling your life. The man keeping you down. Yeah, we live in such a litigious society. If I literally have 2 seconds of audio in the background, even if it's just vague, you know, whatever video I put up or stream will get taken down shortly thereafter for copyrighted material. And if that happens enough times, you know, Google can make your whole entire channel go bye-bye. Isn't that nice? Yep. Enjoy your litigious society where everybody wants to make money out of somebody. Joy, oh joy. That'll be my rant for the day, folks. Yep. I think once we got all the stuff hung, I'm pretty hungry. Might have to look for some eggs, see if the girls have laid any eggs. I don't know, have 4 or 5 eggs for lunch. And then, I don't know, move on to the next thing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's something. I think later this afternoon, Ranger needs a good run, so we're going to head somewhere. Maybe I'll take a kettlebell. I feel like a little bit of a workout. I've been a little lethargic of late. Let's just say protein intake isn't really where I want it to be, and variety of foods isn't where I want it to be. So, you know, I've been a little lackluster lately. Let's just call it that. But today I think we're going to get a little motivated somehow. And go make some sweat. Yeah. Oddly, the most colorful clothing that I have is underwear. Let's just keep that between you and I, right? Okay. That's all she wrote. Let's turn my speaker off here so we don't have to hear me twice. Yeah, well, let me know. Can you guys hear me? Are we back up with audio? Let me know in chat. Okay, what do we have here? Yeah, Kevin, you notice blue? Blue's my favorite color. Mr. Gas, you need some music to wash clothes to. Well, yeah, typically, like you heard there. I don't know if you tapped that before you heard me talk about it. But typically, I do, when I'm roaming around outside doing chores, there's usually some music in the background, but, you know, can't have it going when I'm filming. Audio good. Thanks, Kevin. Audio good. Tomok. Well, Tomok, I'm sorry to hear about your loss there, man. Yeah, it's tough losing a pet. I've only lost a pet once. And my doggo at that time wasn't even with me. It was with the ex when the accident happened. But I remember feeling pretty upset over it for a couple of days. So yeah, I understand, man. Yeah, I haven't always been a pet person. Most of my life, there haven't been any pets. And I could never quite understand how people got so attached to their pets. And here I am, pretty attached to my doggo, as you guys know. Maybe too attached. Anyways, Tomark, sorry to hear that, man. Mr. Gas, you said it as I hit enter. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, anyways, guys, a little bit of good news. After months of me droning on about vehicles, I finally managed to get my van, not the pickup truck, but the van. We got it into town. I had a friend of mine drive a couple hours. Who came out here and helped me get the van into town. And it's been there, I don't know, maybe a week now. And I may have the van back this week, maybe midweek. It just depends on, you know, whether I can arrange to get a ride into town and when that can happen. So, yeah, long story short, I may have a van soon, a vehicle, and that's good news. As you guys know, I haven't had a vehicle since, what is it, last year, October. It was an interesting winter. So I think I'm going to turn up some brightness here on the camera, guys. Let me do that. There we go. Better. Yeah, so the pickup truck, we'll just have to hold off on that for now. I'm just glad I got one of my vehicles running. And thanks to a couple of you guys who helped me out with some funds for that, and with the help of my church, we were able to get it serviced. So thank you to you know who you are out there. Might be one or two of you in chat today. It helped out a little bit there. I was able to get some groceries and some food for Doggo. And yes, I finally got a fire extinguisher, guys. Well, a new one. So wait, hang on. Where is it? Oh, no. Where is my new fire extinguisher? Okay, it's somewhere. I promise. So, hey, buddy, can you just relax? Hey, stop. Stop. Sit. Sit. Lay down. Okay, so, yeah, that's where we are with the van, which is good news. It opens up some doors for me to hopefully find some, some odd jobs, some employment. It's kind of been difficult for me to obviously put myself out there for any kind of employment, not having a vehicle. So we just need to figure out how we're going to gas it up now and and get moving about. Also, some fishing and some camping trips for sure. We might do some van camping trips here. I think that's the first thing I'll do once I get my van. As much as I am in the heart of the boonies and it's beautiful around here and there's just a lot of outdoors opportunities. I do live here and like with anyone, sometimes it's nice to get away from the house and go somewhere new just to kind of feel revitalized. So yeah, I think we will do a little adventure out. We won't go too far since I'm not going to have a lot of gas to burn. But yeah, I think we'll hit the road and go somewhere. It's long overdue. I gotta let Ranger out, guys. Hang on. Get out of here. So yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, Kevin, good to hear you have transportation soon. Thank you, Scott Wallace. Good evening to you, sir. Welcome. Probably good to know where the fire is. Well, hopefully, we don't have too crazy of a fire season here. I think we discussed this last year. Fire season is a real concern up here. It's things can go badly pretty quickly in an area like this with fires. So let's fingers crossed we don't have a bad fire season this year. I mean, if I have something moving up this mountain, there is no fighting fire, guys. There's no water up here to fight fire with, and the little fire extinguisher I have is really just for small internal fire. Something happens. I'm not fighting any fires here if they're coming up this mountain. So it's a matter of what do I grab and run. I already have a game plan. Which backpacks? I have one backpack with documents, the stuff that's very difficult to replace. Documents would be the first thing that goes. And then if I do have time, there's obviously a few other things that need to go. But it's really what I can carry on my back, or if I'm lucky enough, able to get into a cart to my pickup truck and then leave. So, anyways, don't want to think about that too much. We're ready for it, as ready as can be, but yeah, we don't want to dwell on it. Kevin, you need a small vacation from home. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I do. I'm really looking forward to getting that van and hopefully just hitting the road. I can lock away the chickens and quail. They can be fed for I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days at the most. Their feeders will take care of them. I probably won't go for that long, but maybe a couple days. But it depends on work too. If I find a job, I'm going to be looking further abroad for some work. It may involve me being gone for 5 days at a time through the week and then back up here. Yeah, I'd like to avoid another winter like I just had. So yeah. Yeah, fishing season is here. I need to pick up a fishing license, and we'll see how that goes. Mr. Gasgas, do you keep the underbrush cleaned up around your home? Yeah, Mr. Gasgas, not really. Yes and no. There's only so much I can do immediately around the cabin. I have properties around me that border very close that are owned by the state and a large forestry company, and there's nothing I can do there, and they pretty much a stone's throw away from me from the cabin. So if I have a serious fire moving over the terrain here, there's really not much that I'm going to be able to do. But yeah, there's a little more cleanup I need to do. There is some stuff that got down through winter that I need to get picked up and moved out. So, there's wood cutting too that needs to start happening now, and drying and stacking. Unfortunately, that's the downside about not having a pickup truck. The pickup truck is really my workhorse, and when it comes to firewood, driving the Astrovan around, doing firewood in the Astrovan's not ideal. But yeah, so I'm going to miss the pickup truck. The pickup truck allows me to get further abroad, especially for firewood collection, cutting, and hauling. So that's a bit of a bummer. We're going to have to find stuff closer and just do a lot of wood hauling on foot, firewood hauling on foot. So we'll see. Scott Wallace, poaching season is year long. What are you saying, Scott? Yeah, we do attempt to do everything according to what the overlords require. There may or may not have been a time in my life where I just I went out and got snacks as I saw fit. I may have or may not have, but nowadays everything is done lawfully. But I'd never poach. Definitely not. E4 Mafia, what kind of work do you do? Greetings, E4 Mafia. What kind of work do I do? Well, anything that pays. In recent years, I would just say, construction, manual labor, whatever's required, I can do. If anybody's building any log cabins and need some help, let me know. Definitely can do that. Anyways. See, I hear a doggo out there. Let me bring him in. Sorry, guys. What are you whining about? Okay, get up. Right, so yeah, what's happening? Any other questions? You know how it goes on this stream, guys. If there's no questions from you guys, we're gonna run out of things to talk about. What are you looking at, Ranger? You need food? You've got a full bowl of food, mate. Yeah, it's funny. His Ranger's always pretty calm and collected, typically when we're inside the cabin. But as soon as I fire up the old stream here and start talking in the mic, he feels that he's needs to be part of the action, and the whining begins. He doesn't typically do this in and out of the door all the time. It's only when I stream. So it's like He's a bit of an attention hog. Um, Sometimes I'll go out and, well, every time I go out and check the chicken coop and quail coops, Ranger will run out with me, and I don't let him in the coop. Typically, he has to wait outside. But if I spend too much time in the chicken coop, you know, he gets pretty upset and anxious, and he'll stand at the coop and whine because I'm spending too much time with the chickens. So you know, I think somehow I've reared a monster, guys. This is the downside of spending too much time with your dog, or every single minute of the day with your dog. Not healthy. And of course, the times that I do have to leave, and you know, in the summer months, I have to leave him outside, but in the fenced area, I can hear him barking when I get down to the bottom of the valley, which is several minutes later. I can still hear him barking. You know, that panicked barking. When I get down to the bottom of the valley, he literally freaks out when I'm not here. So yeah. I'm not sure how things are going to work out looking for work, and potentially having to, you know, be away for multiple days. He's going to have to travel with me, where he's going to stay and how he's going to be. I don't know. Challenges. The downsides of having critters, guys, is, you know, what do you do when you leave? Scott Wallace, log cabin. The Go Guy. Yeah, well, if anybody's building anything up here in this neck of the woods, Pacific Northwest, and you need a hand, give me a shout. Plus, I need something to do. I need something to do. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. This upcoming season, income is definitely something I'm going to have to push. Yeah. Winter was a little bit of a challenge, as you guys know, with zero funds. I mean, I'm still pretty much at zero funds, which, yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity, guys. If anybody's inclined to help out, I've just dropped a link in chat. Getting to that point, we're looking at some dog food and gas for the vehicle that I may have soon here in a few days, and gas for the generator. We're on our last 5 gallons. So if anybody's inclined to help, there's a donation link in chat there. Yeah, any help is appreciated, guys. Feel free to check out the link. Okay, I'm done with the shilling for now. Okay. Ranger wants to be part of the show. I know, Kevin. It's quite painful. I apologize, guys. Dog in, dog out, the whole time during the stream, whining. Kevin, tell us about the meat taste. Good. How long did it last? Okay, well, Kevin, I like it. Thank you for providing, you know, asking a good question that allows me to keep chatting for a few more minutes. Yeah, so typically what you saw happen there, guys, is that meat needs to see at least 3 days in that smoker. And see, Ranger's at the door again. Hang on, I gotta let him out, guys. You're a pain in the butt, seriously. But yes, so the ideal scenario for that is 3 days in the smoker, and it's really only the first day, maybe a little bit on the second day, that I'll have wood chips in there. The rest of the time, I'm just, you know, creating a dry, warm environment in there for the 3 days. You don't want to over smoke that meat because it's, you know, it's clearly got the marinade on and a dry rub, and it's been salted. You don't want to over smoke it as well with wood chips. It just gets overwhelming. So essentially just the first day with some wood chips, maybe a little bit on the following morning, day 2. But I'll keep that smoker going for 3 days. And by 3 days, I mean, I take the meat out in the evening and then take it out again in the morning. So it'll get a good 8-10 hours of in that smoker box just drying. And actually after 3 days, it's depending on how thin you cut the meat, it's good to eat. I actually by the evening, by the 3rd evening, guys, actually day 3, I ate all of that meat. Typically what I'd do is I'd dry it in that smoker for 3 days and then hang it for maybe a day or 2. Just hang it inside. I would hang it along the window or somewhere dry with some sunlight coming through, and give it another day or 2. So 5 days in total. And then typically what you do is you just cut thin slices of it with a sharp knife, just little slices, and nibble on those slices. But in this case, I had, by the end of day 3, the evening, I'd eaten all of it. So it was one of those cases where I started eating and thinking, don't eat it all, just save some. And I remember thinking, get some footage of what it looks like in its dry state, and maybe some video footage of you cutting it, and get some close-ups of the, you know, what it looks like. But yeah, it was all gone. I think I had one little piece on day 4 in the morning. I ate that for breakfast with some eggs, and it was gone. So definitely edible after day 3 and very delicious. And if you can imagine, a beef jerky, but soft. I like a little bit of fat. I don't cut the fat off that meat, so it's a little fatty. If you can imagine a nice beefy flavor that's soft, almost like a beef jerky. My mouth is actually salivating right now thinking about it. So yeah, Kevin, that's my long answer to your very simple question. Yeah. After 3 days, it was gone. So there you go. Super delicious, guys. I'm looking forward to the next batch. Maybe when I get to town, if I'm lucky, if there are funds in this little donation link that I sent, I'll be able to pick up another chunk of meat. So, yep. Mr. Gas, is it like jerky? It's kind of like jerky. If you can just imagine a jerky that's a little bit softer, not hard on the teeth. You can chew it. It's soft and very beefy. And of course, the coriander brings out quite a unique. The coriander, the Worcester, and the apple cider brings out a real. It's almost like a tangy. If you can imagine a vinaigrette, slight vinaigrette with a good hearty beefiness to it. It's really quite nice. I don't think, beef jerky can vary. I mean, if you buy beef jerky in a gas station, that stuff's pretty gross. But if you buy beef jerky from perhaps somebody who makes it at home, it can be quite considerably different to the stuff you buy in a gas station. So I don't know, beef jerky can vary so much, but this biltong version is just, I think, superior. Actually, not I think. It is superior to typical beef jerky. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it's really quite simple to make, guys. You don't need anything fancy. You can see how I do it. Of course, the smoker approach is something that's not traditional to creating biltong. Typically, what people do with after it's marinated and ready to be dried, people have drying boxes, and traditionally people used to just hang it up outside in a dry environment. You know, Africa or Southern Africa, the summers are very dry. There's not a lot of moisture in the heat outside. So you would hang it outside with a fly net, so the flies can't get to it. Hang it outside in a nice dry, hot environment for several days, and that's how they would typically or traditionally do the biltong, just hung outside. Of course, nowadays people create little boxes indoors. Some people use plastic boxes with a little fan and a heating element, and so they'll like blow dry, warm air in this box with the pieces of beef hanging up in the box. Some people create cardboard boxes with a little fan in the side, like a computer fan in a dry environment. There's all ways to do it, but the smokehouse, or the way I do it, is not traditional. I'm really just using that smokehouse to speed dry it, to boost that curing period. Even the wood chips, and smoking it with wood chips isn't a traditional way of doing biltong either. It's normally just dry hung after the dry rub. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. And I don't know if you can hear Ranger outside. He's whining again. But good question, Kevin. Any more questions, guys? I'm going to show you guys something here. You guys remember, we need a little more light over here. See if we can get more light. Shed some light on the situation. There we go. Ranger, can you stop whining? Okay, look at this, guys. Do you remember? So through winter, no quail eggs, like zero. Even before winter hit, guys, the quail production disappeared. And as some of you guys know who've been watching this channel or watching the live streams, you know that I was pondering at the end of winter, I'd made the decision to, set the quail free because, quite frankly, feeding or buying food for critters up here that don't produce anything for me is not really an option. As cruel as that may sound for some, I need the critters up here to produce something for me, except Ranger. Well, Ranger's kind of security, but so if you remember me moaning about not getting any quail eggs, if you guys can see that, it's let's just say it's quail egg palooza, guys. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. We had broken quail egg on the floor. No, buddy. No. Okay. Get the quail eggs out of the way. Just picking up a yolk off the floor here, guys. Some of it. Okay, there we go. What do you guys think about that? Quite a few eggs there. Let me know. I've opened the door. I finally figured this little trick out. I'll just leave the door open for my doggo. We're actually coming into fly season here, so I like to keep the door closed so I don't invite all the flies in that are starting to fly around outside. But anyways, that's all the quail eggs. There's a whole bunch of new names in chat here. I apologize. Amber Rivers, greetings. Oh, wow, I'm missing all the questions here, guys. Kevin, sounds good. Gonna have to try that type of meat. Yeah, Kevin, real simple to do, mate. Nothing special required. I guess roasting the coriander, or at least grinding up the coriander seed. I mean, you might need some kind of equipment. You obviously need to grind it up as you see there, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Tomahawk, is your greenhouse up and running? Tomahawk, this is a tough one for me. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get the greenhouse up and running, because it looks like I may have to be traveling here to find employment, and there's a possibility that I may be away from the cabin a few days at a time for employment. Now that I have the Astro van back, I may be sort of camping in my van closer to where I can find work. And so if I have a greenhouse requiring, with stuff growing in it that needs to be watered twice a day, that's not going to work out. So I know it's an area where I'm a little troubled with. I really enjoy planting and growing foods, but if I'm not up here to water them and take care of them, it's not going to happen. If I just, during the summer months up here, it reaches 100 degrees plus, and if I'm not here taking care of the greenhouse, watering or venting it every day, things will wither up and die pretty quick. They'll die of heat. So I don't know, Tomahawk. That's a tough one. I might throw some beet seeds in some outdoor planters I have around the cabin, and get some beetroot going. I love pickled beets, pickling my own beetroot. So I don't know, Tomahawk. I need to make a decision on that quickly here. If I don't find work and it doesn't happen, and then I am up here, I don't have any vegetables growing. I don't know, Tomahawk. We'll see. Finding work right now is pretty important for me once I get the van. Okay, where are we? Tomahawk, greenhouse, gotcha. Amber Rivers, hello Amber, welcome. John Off-Grid Garage, hi there. Amber Rivers, I can't hear you. How's the audio, guys? Are we good? Can you guys hear me? Hi Kevin. Natal, oh, good afternoon, early evening to you, Natal. Welcome, good to see you. That's awesome. Yeah, those quail eggs are going bonkers right now. It's how many quail eggs can I eat during the day? Well, I'm eating a lot of quail eggs, let's just say that, multiple times a day. Amber Rivers, for some reason I can't hear. Oh, that's weird. Can everybody else hear? Those eggs going to hatch before you can eat them all. Yeah, Kevin, those eggs won't hatch. They need the... they need... I've got a little bit of overflow going right now, but those are actually boil. Those ones are going to be boiled, crushed, and then refed to the chickens. Where are we? Yeah, nothing hatches, Kevin, unless the quail sit on them. And yeah, modern quail just don't go broody unless you're extremely lucky. They have to have like perfect conditions, and it might take a generation or two of breeding quail and giving them a natural environment in order for them to sit on their eggs. Otherwise, it's very rare to get the modern quail nowadays to sit or go broody. Yeah, spring is here and the temperatures are better, so they're starting to lay. Things have warmed up, more sunlight. Amber Rivers had to restart YouTube. Great to see you, Off-Grid Warrior. Thanks, Amber. Good to have you in. Thanks for swinging by. Mr. Gas, too wet here in South Carolina to get seed in the ground. Too wet, huh? Okay, so, I mean, unless you have a greenhouse, of course. Yeah, I've got some outdoor areas here. My plastic barrel. I might plant some stuff outside. I don't know. You know, maybe the thing to do is just recover the greenhouse and just get seeds in there. And while I'm here, take care of them, tend to them, and hope for the best. If I have to leave, I leave. It's just a lot of effort that may be put into that. And then, you know, I find that I'm not here and things are drying out and dying. The other issue I have is just storage space, guys. As some of you may know, I have a lot of totes that I removed from a storage unit at the end of winter. And I literally have no space to put those totes. I don't even have all the totes up here. They need to go somewhere, and I have no space. And so that greenhouse right now is holding a bunch of items that I put away during winter. And if I pull them out of the greenhouse, there's again, literally, I'm running out of covered space. So I may have to build something here shortly. Some kind of, I have some roofing, some pieces of metal roofing laying around that I may be able to use for a little roof. I may have to build some kind of little lean-to or something to get all these totes and items in. I've hit a wall here with space, covered space, especially now with all these totes that came out of my storage unit. I just got a few things I'm juggling here, Tomahawk. You know, these really are all princess problems. I'm not complaining. So, there you go. Yeah, what else we got going on, guys? Any more questions? I got, so just behind the cabin here, I have this mound, the squirrel mound. And of course, during winter, the squirrel mound becomes very quiet and there's like zero activity. They obviously all get into their little, you know, I don't know what you call a squirrel burrows. Their little, you know, the little underground homes that they make. And, you know, you just don't see them through winter. And of course, now the family is starting to peek out. They're literally about 15 feet behind the cabin here, a giant squirrel mound. Of course, the squirrel mound drives a ranger crazy. But, yeah, yesterday I saw the entire family out. And they do provide quite a bit of entertainment. Sometimes I'll find myself sitting here or standing at the kitchen window just, you know, watching squirrels for you know, 8 to 10 minutes. They are very interesting to watch. Because I notice a few of the holes, the tunnels that they create, the network that they have at the back of the cabin here is quite extensive. And I noticed a hole pop up very close, maybe about 2 feet, 2 feet from the back of the cabin. So they have another little entrance. I'm going to have to dig through the underside of the cabin here and make sure we don't have any crazy activities taking place underneath the cabin. What was it? Last year, I think the only time I've seen a pack rat up here, I got a pack rat under the cabin, and I noticed a few things starting to disappear out of some of my storage, mainly fabrics. And if I left any garbage outside in a bag, something was getting into it, and it turned out to be a little pack rat underneath the cabin. Well, it wasn't so little. Long story short, I got the pack rat trapped, and because I'm such a nice guy, I hauled the pack rat up the mountain, I don't know, about 6 miles. We went for a little ride with the pack rat and released him up at the top of the mountain. And yeah, I'm that kind even to pack rats. Now humans, that's My reaction might have been a little bit different if I found a human hiding underneath my cabin. Okay, where are we? Sounds like you need to have a yard sale. You know, Mr. Gas, what I need to do is just dig a pit and make a fire in that pit and just start throwing things in there, because 90%, I would say 80% of the stuff that I've had in a storage unit is stuff I've been carting around with me for about 8 or 9 years, 10 years, 8 years, somewhere around there. These are items that have been totes and been in totes since I was building my log cabin. They were in a storage unit in Washington, and then I just kept on dragging these totes that I never opened, but just have stuff in it. And here I am sitting with these boxes and totes of stuff that really just need to go bye-bye. There's no one up here. There's no yard sales up here. Nobody's driving out here, nor do I want anybody out here attending a yard sale. So I don't know, Mr. Gas. I need to be a big boy here and just, burn stuff. Because hauling this stuff around year after year after year is just unnecessary. I'm already running out of space. And quite frankly, the cabin is... my cabin is full of stuff. I mean, I attempt to live a fairly minimalist lifestyle here, but it's amazing just in 3 years how things have just accrued in this tiny little space. That was very comfortable. I mean, it's still comfortable, but it's full. Something needs to happen. Okay. Whispering Vine Studio, what about putting your seeds in a trough of dirt so they can hold wet for a while? Cover side of seed area with pine branch. Not sure if it'll work, but an idea. Whispering Vines, that's a great idea. I think I like that idea. I need to do something, and it needs to happen soon. Because as you know, the season's pretty short. I think you're at elevation 2, right? The season's pretty short for me, so, if by June 1st you don't have stuff in the ground, at least in this area, then the season's pretty short, so I need to make a decision quick. And I like that idea, Whispering Vines. Even if I get the beets in the ground, that'll be something. I don't know if I'm going to attempt tomatoes, because tomatoes need a little bit of assistance out here. But maybe the beets I'll get going. Amber Rivers, nothing wrong with extra stuff, lol. I don't know, Amber Rivers. I've discovered over the last few years is that more stuff, at least for me, the more stuff is just an additional weight. It becomes, the more stuff becomes a burden, because even though you may not be thinking about it constantly, every now and again you have to visit, what are you doing with this stuff? Where is it? Do you need to look through it? Do you need to go and find something in it? And I find with not having that burden or that stuff, it really alleviates unnecessary headspace. The stuff, you don't, I've said this before, you don't own the stuff owns you. And that's how I feel with carting totes around from storage unit to storage unit year after year after year. And when I say storage unit, I mean I only require a small unit, like an 8x10 or 10x10 unit is what I moved out of, and it wasn't even full. So it's just, it's stuff that I have to revisit. And of course, this year, not having any funds, My storage unit was only costing $45 a month, but I couldn't afford it. So stuff, you know, I had to. Here I sit with all these totes now. 75% of them are still sitting down at the bottom of the valley that need to come up here, and it's just a giant burden. None of that stuff sitting in totes is actually servicing me in any way. Whispering Vines, yes, you're at 4,100. Okay, so you're up there. So, as you know, I think you're quite a pro, though, Whispering Vines. So short seasons for us this far north. You got to make it happen like now, or it's not going to happen. Amber Rivers, true, makes sense. Yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Mr. Gas, how many square foot is your cabin, if you don't mind? Mr. Gas, so the first year and a half or couple years I was up here, I had half the space that I'm in now. So if you look at some of my earlier videos, if you go back, I don't know, maybe you won't have to go back too far, maybe like 5 or 6, 7 videos back, you can actually see me building this cabin. I do have some standalone videos. They're not in the streaming videos. They're in the self videos, the standalone videos. You'll see me building this cabin. So the first couple years, I was literally in an 8 by 16, and then I added on. I doubled the space. So, you know, it's essentially, if you imagine 2 8 by 6 rectangles attached to each other in an L shape. And it's not truly that works out to be like 7 by 15s. Consider the thickness of the walls, but so it's pretty small. It's pretty small in here, guys. And it's just I feel that I'm not outgrowing it. I need to get in a Japanese and Oriental mindset in here. You know, the Japanese are well known for making do with small spaces and making it very functional and optimal. I would say I can optimize it in here, but I still will be left with a lot of you know, in a way, I am a Western man, and being Westernized, in particular, you know, living in the States, I've accrued things over the years. Even though some people may look at what I have here and think that I don't have much, and I don't, and I'm grateful for that. But with this small space, I do have a lot. But I've accrued things, being a Western man. And it all needs to go somewhere right now. So that's I would say, one of the largest hurdles I need to, besides finding employment, I need to figure out where I'm going to put all this stuff securely, especially if I'm not up here. Not that I have very expensive items, but, you know, I need to somehow secure some stuff outdoors here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Anyways, if you don't use it, let it go. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I might once I have a vehicle, I might go through boxes, get some stuff together, and one of my trips into town, I'll take it to you know, some place in town, maybe, you know, one of these places you can, you know, for folks in need. I might drop it off somewhere, and so other people can. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff of value. Just garbage one collects over the years. So I'll go through and see what I can get rid of, and the rest I'm just going to burn. I'm kind of done hauling all this stuff around with me. Natal, sort it out. What you don't want need can be donated at a thrift shop. Yes, thank you. Donated at a thrift shop. Those are the words I was looking for. A no burn solution. Yeah. John Offgrid Garage. Any bears up there? John Offgrid Garage, yes. There's plenty of bears. I don't know. What is it now? 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Saw my first bear scat up here. You know, it's as they come out of winter, they get pretty active here. I've seen some cat scats in the last 3-4 weeks. Everything's moving around. Coyote scat. I haven't seen any bears, you know, coming out of winter, but they're around. They're definitely around. I saw videos about people leaving their place, had to board it up. Yeah, John Offgrid, that's the other issue with me not being here or gone for a few days at a time. It's the reason why I built the chicken coop the way I did. You know, I know the chicken coop looks like Fort Knox, and it looks like Fort Knox for a reason. I've had bears go through chicken coops before, and I tried to build this one. I went overkill on the door. There's a reason why I built the doors opening outward as opposed to opening inward. You know, a bear thrusting or moving up or putting its weight up on a door, if it hinges inwards, it can very easily push open the door. So I have ledges on the door edge and on the bottom, large ledges that you know, prevent the door from being pushed inward. So there's a few reasons. Bears are the reason why the chicken coop looks like a Fort Knox. But you know, those chickens would have to be locked up in the coop section with a closed door for days on end. You know, critters are pretty smart. I may not see them, but they see me, and they'll keep their distance. The more inquisitive ones, the ones that are a problem, particularly bears, they know where I'm at. They know what my routine is. They're aware of the dog. But when that goes away for a few days, again, they're acutely aware of the activity change, and you know, some of them are opportunists, and that's when they will start digging around. So, you know, if you give coyotes enough time, they will dig, and a pack of coyotes digging around a coop or under a fence line, they will get through. So there's a few challenges that'll be, you know, that I'll have to deal with if I'm not here trying to find work. We can only hope for the best, guys. You know, see what happens. Amber Rivers, I've been going through my stuff too. Amber Rivers, letting a few things go. Yeah, it's quite freeing, guys. I've been through a few purges over the years. My first one, I don't know, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, leaving a city. I purged, as you can imagine, you know, having a home, you know, the three car garage, you know, 2-story home, gated community. I did a lot of purging when I finally realized that, you know, the modern lifestyle was not really for me. I get the irony. I'm talking about a modern lifestyle, and here I am in the boonies streaming with Starlink. I know there's some irony there, guys, but I've done a few purges over the years, and here I am years later still feeling that I need to purge. Purge, and purge. And it's quite freeing. That was my point. I find as you unburden yourself of all this plastic, shiny garbage, it becomes quite freeing having that weight lift. You'll end up feeling a lot freer, or as free as you can in this modern society. Jason off-grid. Oh no, you're referring to the critters. Amber Rivers, I prefer living off-grid in the woods. Yeah, me too. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. I clearly, as you guys know, there is no retirement for me. I don't have a retirement fund that comes in. It wouldn't. I really don't need much to live. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I could probably live off 500-600 a month, but you know, when things go wrong, like needing parts for your vehicle breaking down, or God forbid some health issue. I don't have health insurance, so should anything happen, that's where the issues start to arise. I don't dwell on these things. It's pretty unhealthy to dwell on these things, and if you're an overly concerned person about those sort of things, you're not going to do well out here living like this. I choose to focus on the positive things. I mean, I do consider the negatives, but I don't dwell on them. So the downside of doing this on a budget, or actually with zero money, is when things happen. That's when you very quickly run into a problem. But just to live up here, you know, $500-600 a month, I would be quite content. I know it sounds crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be driving all over the countryside. I mean, I have to watch things like gasoline on a budget like that, but yeah. I think probably the one thing that I look forward to about having a vehicle here is being able to get to church on a regular basis. Some of you may know I do have to travel for church. It's a couple hours. It's a couple hour drive for me. But it is one of the things I look forward to, and yeah, even that requires gas. So when you're not earning an income and don't have any sort of income, really, that's gas. I think gas and food are the two things. I'm rambling now. Eric Chilver, that's a new name. Left the city life 40 years ago. Haven't been back since. Good health. Eric, good for you, mate. 40 years, you're definitely doing better than me. Yeah, I mean, once you go rural, you never go back. Well, actually, some do. And I've seen this over the years, guys, particularly with social media. And I don't know, this probably started 12, 15 years ago, you know, with YouTube and social media coming into play, people posting videos about, you know, off-grid living. And, you know, then there's long before that, there was the moving back to the land, the whole hippie movement. I guess that happened in, 60s, late 60s, early 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had this movement of back to the land. It comes in waves. It's like going back to the land. And then it falls out of fashion. Then, of course, YouTube and, you know, social media crept in, and you start seeing people posting pictures or videos of living off grid. And so you have this new interest in moving away from cities. And, you know, I have seen over the years people who, you know, watch these videos or have an Instagram account, and they watch these cute couples getting a tiny home and, you know, moving off grid, living the simple life. And I've seen folks do that and then struggle through winters, and very quickly their properties are up for sale again, and 2 or 3 years later they're moving back to the city. Quite often it's because of employment. Finding work becomes the reality of finding work and existing out in the boonies or living rural. If you've lived in a city and all of a sudden finding income now is a challenge and winters are harsh, you do that for a couple years and, yeah, I've seen him move back to the city. So, of course, that'll never be an option for me. I'll probably starve and I know it sounds very pessimistic. It's not, guys, but I'd rather be struggling out here than existing in that city again. So. Only negative for us is cost of fuel to get to town. Yeah, Amber Rivers, I totally get that. The decision of, do I go to town? When do I go to town? Do I have enough reason to go to town? Checking the bank account, is there enough monies, or is there enough funds in PayPal for me to even drive to town? Or can I pick up, is there enough funds for toilet paper and dog food? Guys, these aren't complaints. I'm laughing about it, but these are challenges. I just embrace them now and I accept them, and it is what it is. Which is a great segue to, hey guys, I've just dropped a link in chat. If anybody can help out, it was inclined. Ranger, get down. No. The problem with the Ranger being up here on the chair is he's at the same level of the kitchen counter, which is right over there. And there's all kind of scents on the kitchen counter down. Anyways, I just dropped a link in chat, guys. If anybody's inclined to help out or can. I'm actually low on dog food, chicken food, and gasoline for hopefully a vehicle that I'll have here in a few days. If you guys can help out, I'd really appreciate it. Those who can. So thank you. Check out the link in chat. Shilling number 2 over. Okay, where are we? Okay, sorry guys, I may have missed some chat here. I apologize if I missed your chat. It's getting dark. I'm getting old and I'm having to squint at the chat here. It's almost like I need a second screen here with, where I can blow up the chat and I can read it comfortably. Right now, I kind of have to squint at this little chat. Princess problems. Okay, where are we? I love the quiet and the sounds of nature. Yeah, Amber, I agree. And when you live out in the boonies day after day, week after week, month after month, and just you get attuned to certain sounds. And I find going into town, even the small town that I have to go into, it's not like I have to drive into a big city. It's a small rural town. I find that quite often, if I sit down somewhere public or even going to the supermarket, it's almost sensory overload at times for me with the amount of noise of modernity, people. It's definitely a sensory overload at times. My expenses are around 5, maybe 600, Mr. Gas. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds where I'd probably be. John Off-Grid Garage, I have seen a lot of people go all out on big giant houses and won't get enough solar panels to run anything. And they said they can't do it anymore. I've seen all kinds of solar panel setups over the years. You guys have seen my solar panels out here. I literally have 300 watts. I have a 4th solar panel that I keep mobile. I didn't include it in this video, guys, but I actually had a meltdown on one of my solar generators that I charge. The plug melted down. Maybe I'll include that in the next video. I guess too much wattage coming from my panel. I melted the plug entering the solar gen. So hopefully it's okay. I haven't tested it, but I mean, I have 300 watts. It's more than enough for me clearly more than enough if it's melting plugs. Of course, in winter, I have a bit of a struggle fest. I have to run the generator. And right now, I'm running the generator for the stream. I use a desktop. I know it's kind of overkill in my cabin here, guys. I have a desktop computer and a screen, a monitor. It's one thing that's definitely out of place in this cabin. And it's hard for me to hide it because, you know, it takes up a fair amount of space. I had to build a shelf here just to shelve the desktop, the streaming desktop. Anyways, where was I going with this? So I have to run the generator to stream. I can't run well, I could run the desktop off my battery setup, but it wouldn't last very long. This desktop is quite big. I built it. I built the entire computer, installed the motherboard, RAM, all myself. But it's a very hungry PC. It's I built a bit of a beast, so consumes a lot of wattage. And I think when it kicks on here and I'm editing video, it probably draws about 450, 500 watts when it kicks into high gear. So I think the laptop will probably take about 100 watts, 120. Some laptops will use 80, but I can't use my laptop to stream with. It's too underpowered for streaming. Anyways, I digress here. It's a whole nother topic. But yeah, so I survive off 300 watts here, more than enough. The generator, I can't use that through winter. There's just not enough sunlight for me, and I depend on the generator to charge batteries and do things like this. But I've seen some solar arrays that, you know, $80,000, $90,000. You know, they're pretty fancy with, you know, they have sensors, these massive panels. They have sensors on that. The entire panel will adjust according to where the sun is. So that they'll track the sun's arc over the sky during the day. You know, setups like that can be quite expensive. But, you know, those are people who, you know, have laundry machines and, you know, big screen TVs, and they basically want to exist have a modern lifestyle. They bring their modern lifestyle or city living with them. And that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that for me is, personally for me, that kind of defeats the object. But more power to you. If you can do that, that's great. Okay, where was I? Amber, I've been to big cities before visiting my husband's stepmom. Big cities give me anxiety. Much going on for me. Yeah, I can totally relate to Amber Rivers. I have a problem. It's been a while since I've been to a large city. I really... Something really special has to be going on for me to go to a large city. I think the last time I went may have been to Kalispell, and it was more than, I think it was for a large, I think it was for St. Herman's Day. We have a Orthodox church in Kalispell called St. Herman, and they had their Saint's Day. And I think I attended that. That was, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago. But yeah, I find even when I'm on the highways or getting close to the cities and you start having on-ramps and off-ramps and the traffic starts to gather as you're getting closer to the city, my anxiety level just like starts to shoot up. Yeah, princess problems, but very real. Okay, where am I? I got to squint my eyes here, guys. It's getting dark. Let me see if I can adjust my eyes here a little bit to read this. Mr. Gas telling everybody to thumbs up the video. Thank you, Mr. Gas. You're my #1 promoter. I think I've said before, guys, if I mean, it's bad enough me asking for your help, and you know, maybe I'm getting a little more used to it, but you know, it's not easy for me to drop links, donation links in the chat and ask for your help. But you know, if I had to ask for to thumbs up me and like and subscribe, I think that'll be pushing it a little too much for me. But thank you. I appreciate you guys doing that. Anywho, Tomahawk, thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Mr. Gatcas, on a good day, my solar can produce 43 kilowatts per day. Jeez, Mr. Gasgas, that's a mere mortal like myself could only dream about. I don't know what I'd do with all that power. I might purchase one of those portable, you know, those little portable washing machines. I don't know if you've seen those on Amazon. Actually, the rest of the world, it's pretty popular to have these small washing machines. Especially in third world countries, you'll find folks with these little washing machines. Quite often they run off 12 volt and you have to manually fill the water. They're not that expensive, but I think if I was going to spend anything on some kind of gizmo or gadget requiring more power, it would probably be one of those little washing machines. You know, I don't know, they take like maybe 8 or 10 gallons of water at the most. Anyways, such a luxury. Sun trackers are cool, kind of expensive though. I bet they are. Mr. Gasgas, my Powerball was under 20 the last 3 months. Nice. Yeah, I guess my Powerball is probably more than that. Running the generator. Ranger, no. Yeah, gas is the only expense here. Real expense that I have, that and food. I really do. So yeah, I'm done with all my cans of meat that I have. I think I ate my last can of tuna, or was it chicken? I can't remember. Maybe 3 days ago. And so we're on to like the pasta items and dried goods. I've got some survival food and beans and rice. So the next trip to town, guys, when I pick up my van, I'm fingers crossed that there's some funds for me to get some groceries, because some meat would be nice, and milk. I've been having cravings for dairy and milk lately. A big block of cheese would be nice. Cheese and milk. The luxuries. Okay, where are we? We spent, okay, hang on. All-in-one inverter is not in bad. Yeah, John Off-Grid Garage. I do have 3 large solar batteries. I think they're 100 amp each. I do have an inverter. It's one of those Renogy inverters. I think it's an 1,000 watt inverter. Yeah, I mean, my entire cabin is set up on 12 volt. There's very little AC that I use. One of them, you saw the little grinder that I have. My coffee grinder requires AC, which I can hook up to the solar gen when they're charged. But what else do I run? You guys, I know this is another luxury, and this is probably a weird item to have up here, guys, but I have one of those air fryers. I don't know, a year ago, somebody said, hey, check these things out, these air fryer things. And I have a bit of a weakness, guys, for chicken wings. It's one of the few things that every now and again I get a craving for. So I bought this air fryer was under $100. I bought this air fryer that the intention was to use it with a generator, but the primary reason was to perhaps do chicken wings and my quail. And I think I have a video, might be a few videos back, of me doing quail, my own quail, 3 quail in my air fryer. And I have bought chicken wings, the type that are in a bag that you buy at a supermarket. And I've done the chicken wings in my air fryer, and I absolutely love that air fryer. I know we're getting high tech up here, guys. But the air fryer is one of those tools I pull out every now and again. And so if I'm lucky and I get to town and there's some funds in PayPal, one of the things, if I can afford it, I'll get a bag of those chicken wings. And maybe I'm giving too much information now, guys, but I'll get some good quality blue cheese dressing with the chunks of blue cheese. And I'll do some hot wings and blue cheese. And I'll eat that entire bag. So that air fryer does great. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Let's see if I can put some light on the situation here. Where is my light? Okay. Ranger, move. Move. This is what the air fryer looks like, guys. A little dusty. How embarrassing. Yeah, dust is a bit of an issue in here, guys. So, this is the air fryer. And I think I bought this for, it might have been going at a deal, it was like $80 on Amazon. And so it's got this, it's kind of fancy. It's got this touchscreen. It's very easy to use. It's like 1 or 2 buttons. It's got this big drawer. So you put all the chicken wings in there, all the quail that you spiced up. Put a nice dry rub on your quail. You stick them in there, and this air fries them to a nice crisp. The skin will get crispy. The outside will get crispy. And you can do that. I think I do a bag of chicken wings in like 16 minutes. And they're like perfect. So this is made by a company called Coriander. It's really good, guys. When it's running, you can really hear the generator is working hard. It draws quite a bit. But if you have like at least a, I don't know, you need a decent sized generator to run it. At least I would say 1600 watts when this thing's going. But yeah, real simple, guys. Anyways, that's one of the luxuries that I have up here in the boonies. The old air fryer. So please consider donating so I can have my chicken wings in a few days. I'm beginning to sound really desperate, hey. Anyways, there we go. Let's put this away. Move. Okay. Interesting. We lost a whole bunch of viewers when I pulled out the air fryer. Okay, where are we? Yeah, spend all kind of money on the house, but they won't buy a solar panel, and they get mad and go back to the city. Yeah. Well, especially if you're this far up north and you're not used to winters, winters can be quite challenging for some city folk. I mean, it might be fun the first year, but it very quickly gets... if you don't have all your ducks in the row, you can find yourself uncomfortable really quick. Fortunately, I'm a little twisted. I kind of there's some kind of excitement for me with being uncomfortable. Not being able to feed my dog and chickens is not fun, but I can deal with a little bit of discomfort personally. How many watts is your inverter? My inverter, I think, is 1,000 watts. It's not that big, but again, I very seldom run AC off that. Anything AC. John of Courage, we buy the chicken nuggets and fingers. Yeah. John of Grid Garage, I'm being an African man. I like to feel my food, and get that chicken in my mouth and like gnaw on it, and gnaw on the bones. It's definitely the African in me. Shocking. Anyways. John of Good Garage, we have a front loader washing machine. A lot of appliances are really cloudy day. I don't try to run it on a cloudy day. But the washing machine I've seen seem to be able to run. Okay, let me see if I get that. A front loader washing machine a lot. Okay, but you have a washing machine, and you're so well. You have a lot of power there, sir. I think for me, another problem with having any kind of washing machine would be, just to be clear, I don't really want a washing machine up here, but I wouldn't mind. I mean, a full size one. I wouldn't mind one of the portable type. That's what I'm talking about. If I can't carry it or put it in my little cart behind the quad, I really don't want it up here. Like I said, I already have too much stuff up here. But yeah, I'm not saying if you can have luxuries and be off grid. I think that's a natural progression. I mean, if you live doing this long enough, you will find yourself accruing and improving your systems. Those who can do it, from the get-go, from day one, well, that's nice. But I mean, clearly, I've had some upgrades being up here. Air fryer. Of course, the number one thing I had to get in here on day one before any existence could happen up here was the wood stove. That is my number one piece of equipment, guys. Whoa, thunder. We have a storm brewing. Thunder is always a bit of a concern. It's quite often followed with lightning, and lightning in this part of the world is quite often followed by fire. So, yeah, fingers crossed. John of Good Garage, yeah, I'm not a big chicken nuggets fan or the fingers. I know a lot, most Americans or Westerners, should I say, I find chicken nuggets and things like fish fingers are more popular. I see a lot of kids that are kind of grossed out by anything on a bone or anything you have to gnaw on. I think that's a very Western civilization thing. If you grow up and your idea of chicken is a nugget, then I understand that being your preferable way of having chicken. For me, there is nothing more exciting than having an entire roast bird, bone and all, to gnaw on. I will eat an entire roast chicken and just savor the bones. Actually eat the end of the bones. I will gnaw that whole thing down to just a few large bones left. And I know that grosses people out for some reason. I find that strange that some people are grossed out, but oh well, what can you do? Yeah, that's definitely one of the joys in life is eating in an entire critter. Mr. Gas should be enough to fill the van up and maybe some puppy food. Um, did I miss something there, Mr. Gas? Should be enough to fill the van up and maybe some food. No, if that's a dono, Mr. Gas, I really appreciate that, mate. Yeah, thank you. John of Grid Garage, we have a front loader wash. Okay, I read that one. Amber Rivers, he's trying to say our front loader washer. We can't run it on a cloudy day, sometimes on solar. Oh, okay, I got you, Amber. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know some folks nearby that have a big solar array. I don't think it tracks, but it's a giant solar array. Kind of when you stand underneath it, you look up at it, and it's like, wow, that's massive. And you know, they have a washing machine and a big screen TV. You know, in a log cabin. I mean, that's quite a luxury. That's a lot of comfort. And, you know, they exist off solar panels and seem to be quite comfortable and run everything. I think in winter there's obviously a generator that comes into play there, but as soon as the sun starts for them, they're good on solar. Of course, they also have very expensive batteries. I think they have a battery array of I don't think it's lithium ion. It's the other. Is it iron phosphate? I think are the very expensive batteries. And it's really all about batteries too. I mean, you could have a lot of solar panels and cheap. Well, I'd say cheap batteries, but a more economic battery as opposed to the expensive phosphate ion or iron phosphate. So it's half of that is all about batteries too, the quality or the technology of battery that you have. Mr. Gas, John off Grid Garage, then wood stoves, some of them are real heavy. We had a hard time getting ours. I was in the house. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, John off Grid Garage. I was really fortunate when I started building, I had the use of a tractor, one of those smaller tractors that somebody loaned me, and I was able to put my wood stove in the buckets of the tractor and very slowly get the tractor up here with my stove. Now, my stove is very small. I have a tiny stove. But yeah, it took a tractor to get up here. There's no ways I would have been able to carry my stove up here. So that's how I got my stove up here. Anything larger would be would have been almost impossible. If I had a full-sized or a large stove, I don't know how I would have even got it up here, even in the bucket of a tractor. A small tractor. Well, I see viewers have dropped off considerably. I'm seeing only 2 viewers. That's pretty low. But anyways, not that it matters. As long as you guys are chatting, somebody's here. I appreciate it. When the chat drops off, I'll call the stream quits. John of Mr. Gas, dollar signs. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Gas. That's I don't have my phone. I can't check right now, but that's a bit of a relief. I think I had about $30 in PayPal. I thought I could maybe get a tank of gas, and that's all I was kind of hoping for. So if there's a little more than $30 in there, that's going to help a lot. So thank you. John, Northcrit Garage. I like the bone also, but last chance of being lab-grown meat. Yeah, I'm pretty well, guys. It's tough with buying any kind of meat in the grocery store nowadays. You're really at a disadvantage if you're paying attention to meat. You're at a disadvantage buying it in the grocery store. Most of the meat that's sold in grocery stores in the States, most of it actually doesn't meet standards in many European countries and requirements. I always typically, when I can afford meats, I typically look for a locally grown meat. And so I want to see the label saying, either grown in Montana, maybe Washington, or Idaho or Montana. I look for local ranches that I know the name and I know where the ranch is. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to get some locally grown meat. In this part of the world, we have, 2 or 3 brands that I know come from either Montana or Idaho. So I'll only buy that meat, because I've literally driven past the ranches. I don't buy anything that's any meat that comes further than Montana or Idaho, maybe Washington. I definitely don't buy. Sorry guys, I don't buy anything that has a California label on it. Forgive me if there's any Californians watching. Just being honest. I don't buy pork or any meat that's not labeled. The last time I went to a Walmart I refuse. Walmart is on my no-go list, and it got onto that list, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I refuse to purchase anything from Walmart, so you won't find me in a Walmart. If you shop there, that's fine. I definitely won't buy any meat from a Walmart. But I'm pretty specific if I do buy meat. Now I know buying chicken can be really difficult, and I know I talked about buying chicken in a bag that's the hot wing chickens for my air fryer. The whole thing sounds ridiculous, but I know that's not ideal chicken meat. It's the one area that I'll buy less than ideal meat. So I fail every now and then. Kevin, they are lying to you about the viewers. Oh, okay. Anyways, I try not to focus too much on viewers. I have it on my screen here, and it jumps up and down. So I glance every now and again, but I'm not too concerned about it. As long as I have, you guys talking to me, I'm not really concerned. So, Amber Rivers, I'm seeing 7 on the stream. Okay, Tomahawk. Tomahawk, I'll send another card to help out with food and supplies for you, Ranger, and the chickens. Tomahawk, sir, you've been a great help already, man, and I'll just say, yeah. There's a couple of you guys that have literally kept lights on and chicken and doggo fed. You know who you are. So I'm really grateful, guys. I've managed to kind of get through on the foods that I have here, but food for doggo, chickens, and gas for the generator, guys. There's a couple of you, 2 or 3 of you that have helped out. Tomahawk, you're much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Kevin shows 10 viewers. Okay. Amber Rivers, refresh now. I'm seeing 10. Guys, I'm a huge streamer. I've got 10 viewers. I don't really care, but thank you, guys. John Off Grid Garage, our batteries that we ordered but to put the dolly truck behind a little red car and tie the dolly truck in the trunk and pull it up, that was fun. They're heavy. Oh yeah, batteries can be heavy, John off-grid, especially you know, large off-grid batteries. How many amp hours are your batteries? Like I said, I have 3, and I think there's a video of me. I think I did a video with me hauling my batteries up here. This might be like 2 years ago. It was in winter, and I had to put these 3 batteries in my sled, and then pull them up here on foot. I had to pull my batteries on foot in a sled in winter with snow on the ground. So that took quite a bit of time for me, hauling my batteries up. I don't know if I'd want to do it again, but if I had to, I would do it. Tomahawk seeing 10 viewers as well. Okay, John Off-Grid Garage. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm jumping all over chat here. I'm starting to squint now with the lighting and the amount of hours I've been reading chat now. Kevin, I don't buy meat a lot from Walmart either. Yeah, I mean, I understand economically, you know, if you're a family and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, I get it, guys. You got to do what you got to do. Says me. I mean, I've existed off canned meat here for the most of winter here. The roast that you saw me doing, drying and curing, was the first one. I think Tomahawk, you may have been some help on even me getting that roast, but that's the first bit of meat I've had coming out of winter, chunk of meat coming out of winter, and I haven't been able to get any meat since. So I am actually feeling diet issues up here too. Then it's another motivator for me to get the work going here. I mean, I'm definitely feeling the. Not that it's bad, guys. This isn't a complaint, but I am feeling sort of energy levels and strength and physical issues based on like diet that I've had coming through winter here. A lot of carbs and canned meats are not ideal, especially now that I'm having to be a little more physical, get outside the cabin and start doing stuff. My body's telling me that I need to get more of a varied diet, and I definitely need to get some greens and fruits, like fresh, actual real greens. I had a few tins of tin vegetables, which I only use at desperate times. I've had them in my emergency totes for, actually, some tins I opened were several years old. They were still just slightly within date, but I need to get some varied diet here. Sorry, I'm carrying on a little bit about diet there, which is, I'm sure, pretty boring. But these are the joys of off-grid living on a budget. Not living like a king, but a happy man, but not having all the luxuries. Anywho, where are we with chat? Amber, we'll get the Amish chicken sometimes. Oh yeah. We have some fake Amish people who live up here, and they have a kind of a fake Amish market. Most of their stuff is got the Kirkland brand on it, and they tend to buy from like second or third suppliers, and then they rebrand a lot of the stuff in their own package, and they market themselves as an Amish store, but when you look at the goods, there's nothing really Amish. Every now and again they get some items in there that are okay. They look like they might be legit either Mennonite or Amish meats, and you kind of have to be there that same day when they put them out because they go fast. But like 90% of their stuff there is just rebranded bulk items under an Amish farm to market label, but it's not actually Amish anything, which is kind of sad. But every now and again they have some good fish too from Alaska, you know, flash frozen in Alaska. If I'm lucky, it's been a while, guys, but if I'm lucky, I'll go through their frozen goods item and see if there's any like salmon steals on salmon. You know, being a guy who grew up on the ocean, spent years out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean fishing. I do miss fish, fresh fish. You know, I don't consider flash frozen fresh, but sometimes you got to get what you can this far away from the ocean. But I would kill for a massive salmon right now. I would grill it in some tin foil with some butter. Butter is another thing I'd like to get. I'm really craving, my body's really craving dairy goods. Butter, I could probably eat butter right now, which if I got my hands on some really good high quality Amish butter right now, you may find me eating it. I think I'm waffling on a little too long about foods. Yeah. I'm having yeah, butter and milk. Man, I actually had I don't know, this might be a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I had a dream. I don't dream very often. Maybe, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year, or I don't remember dreams. If I do it 3 or 4 times a year. And I had a dream. The last dream I had about a month and a half ago was I was laying in a tub or a big, like a hot, it wasn't hot, but it was a big jacuzzi. And I was laying in milk. The jacuzzi was milk. It was a giant tub of milk. And I was just laying in this milk. I was soaking in milk up to my neck. And I remember just feeling absolute bliss. I was in a state of euphoria, laying, and I was really happy. I felt really happy laying in this tub of milk. And I remember waking up just feeling so joyous and happy with this sensation of laying in a tub of milk. I think it was I remember palm trees. It was kind of a tropical environment, but just being neck high in milk was such a joy. Anyways, Ranger, get out of here. I'm waffling on a lot here, guys. Did I miss something there? Mr. Gascase, world's best viewer? Amber Rivers, I love a food topic. Another, lose the beard. Oh, okay. I'm not another you. It's a new name, and you're telling me to lose the beard. Okay, well, welcome. Why would I lose the beard? Am I looking too old manish? Does the beard gross you out? I mean, I have considered the beard in summer as things get warm may disappear. Just because maintaining a beard in 100 degrees is less than ideal. I mean, it may stay, but if I lose a beard, it's going to be because of the month, the hot weather. Amber Rivers, another really go away with a negative comment. Well, I don't mind, you know, a negative comment. You know, I'm a big boy, but maybe they're just being kind. Maybe another is feels they're being kind, and they feel I'd be more handsome without a beard. I'll just take it that way. Kevin, making everybody hungry in chat. Lol. Yeah. Okay. How long have we been going, guys? Couple hours. What time is it? 8:06. Okay. Been going for quite a while, guys. Anyways, for some reason I'm feeling a little lightheaded. I think it might be squinting at the chat for this length of time. Also, I think I haven't eaten today. Did I have anything? No, I haven't eaten today besides a coffee. I think that's what it is. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Do I have any coffee here? Finished the coffee? Wow. I think I might have to get dinner going here, guys. I think dinner tonight will be, well, it's going to be pasta. It's going to be a whole bunch of quail eggs, probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at these pretty quail eggs. This is tonight's dinner. I had them ready and washed. The problem with I'd only lose them. Isn't that nice? Look at the variety there. I have obviously the white quail that I have, the white feathered quail, lay these bluish eggs, and then I have like a Coturnix type quail. They're mottled brown. They lay these brown patched eggs. The webcam's not ideal for close-ups. So it'll be these eggs, pasta, and then some kind of, I hate to say this, some kind of powdered sauce. No meats, no vegetables. Definitely, if I can afford it when I get to town, we need to get some kind of decent pasta sauce other than this powdered garbage I have. I'm definitely on the, definitely been eating slop. The goy slop for a few months now, and I'm beginning to feel it. Okay, where are we? Just trying to get squint my eyes here. Kevin, making everybody hungry. What with my quail eggs and pasta? Go eat, please. Mr. Gas, good night, friend. Get yourself some food. Good night till next time. Hey, Mr. Gas. Appreciate you hanging out, sir, and you have a good week ahead, all right? Thank you. Kevin, been good night in chat and enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you popping in. Amber Rivers, take care, everybody. Okay, well, awesome. I like you guys edging me on there to end the stream, so... Okay, guys, on that note, Ranger and I are going to punch out here, and I'm going to get dinner going. It started to rain, actually. I do like having a metal roof. I kind of like being in a cabin up in a mountain and then listening to the rain on the metal roof. It's one of the joys of having a metal roof. So thank you, guys, and I'm going to type in here, thanks and good night. And you guys have a good one. Appreciate you guys, especially those able to help out. Sorry, Tomahawk. Read your previous comments. Will do. Apologize if I miss everybody here. Oh, about the card. You send another card. Thank you, Tomahawk, mate. Yeah, guys, in case you don't know, if you're not comfortable, and I totally get it, if you're not a fan of PayPal or don't want to send anything online, I totally get it. my address, the description of the stream, you'll find my mailing address. It's a PO box. If you want to send dog food, if you can help out with dog food for Ranger, that's great. I have had some help with dog food and chicken food or food. If you got any good food, you could send me. I'm sounding really desperate, guys. I'm not, but if you want to help out that way, send me something. You can use that PO box. So anyways, feeling embarrassed, a little embarrassed, shilling, but thank you, Tomahawk. I'll go through the messages when we're done here. Hey, Jason Allen, welcome, mate. Did I miss? Have you been chatting or just on the sidelines? Jason Allen, what's up, brother? How are you? How's the weather and the home front? Jason, I apologize. I missed your chat there, but all is good. I do have good news. The big news is I might have a vehicle. I got to get to town. It's been in town for a week now, and if I can figure out a ride to town sometime during midweek, I might be able to bring back a working van, which is big news for me, as you know. It's been months since I've had a vehicle, so all is good, Alan, Jason Allen. I hope all is good for you, sir. Thanks for swinging by. We're coming to the end of the stream now. Of course, you can always go back and watch the video. There's about a 33-minute video in the stream, so to watch my shenanigans over the last couple of weeks. So, okay, I have a question. When you turn your key on your truck, does the fuel pump run? John Off-Grid Garage, if you're talking about my pickup truck, yes, the fuel pump runs. I can hear the fuel pump kick on and run. Everything is fine. You know, I replaced the starter motor. I replaced the spark plugs. What happens is when the motor turns over, it almost like it gets stuck on something. There's like a very hard jolt on the engine itself, not the starter motor. The engine has this big metal kind of like a guck. Probably looks ridiculous on screen, me trying to explain that, but it's a hard like jerk when the motor turns over, like it's catching on something. That's the pickup truck. The Astrovan turned out to be, I find this a bit weird, but an oil hose had needed to be replaced. There was leaking and O-rings on either side, and also I needed to get, another thing that was leaking was the steering pump had to be replaced. That's the Astrovan. So fingers crossed that's the issue, because I'm going to have to depend on that van. I need to get serious about finding work, temporary work, something, and it may involve me living in the Astrovan or having to travel a bit to find work. So we'll see. Anyways, that's a mouthful there, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks, Jason Allen. Thanks for swinging by, but we got to the end of the stream now, and I think everybody's heard me enough waffle on about things like food. But I appreciate all of you guys and all your questions. It's the only way I keep going is questions from you guys. So thank you, guys. And hopefully a good update next weekend. So a little more varied video hopefully coming up here. Maybe some fishing. We need to figure out how to afford a fishing license. But if I can get into fishing again, and we've got a good source of food nearby, but I do need the truck to travel there. So anyways, on that note, finally, we're going to end the stream. So thank you, guys. Have a good week ahead. May it be a safe one and a blessed one. So see you guys. Cheers. Ending broadcast now.